This exercise is going to be a great loaded, active thoracic spine extension stretch, which can be so good in starting to build a lot more awareness or just actually adding some load with some of the mobility work you might be already doing. So for this exercise, you're gonna want a med ball. You could also try a foam roller potentially as well, but a medicine ball is gonna be a little bit higher, which is gonna allow a little bit more of a thoracic extension stretch. And that's what you're gonna start with. And then you either are gonna need 1 or 2 heavy dumbbells. If you don't have super heavy dumbbells or access to them, you can just use 2 moderately heavy dumbbells because it'll give you about the same amount. And then for the exercise, the key is going to be that as we're going into the stretch, we're actively pulling ourselves into that stretch, which I'll show you what that looks like. But you want to be thinking about the spine muscles all along the sides of your spine. And we want to think about really creating a really big arch in our chest, like we're trying to show something really cool on our shirt to somebody up and behind us on the ceiling. And then as we go back into the start position, we want to pull ourselves back into that opposite position. So we want to use kind of those abs. We're going to use some of our shoulders here too, because it is going to be a little bit of a shoulder loaded exercise as well. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to start in the starting position here. And we are going to reach overhead to grab the dumbbell in like a glute bridge position. Now, how high up you want to be on the med ball will determine where your stretch is and what you feel. So for a lot of people, they may want to be a little bit lower. Some people may want to be a little bit higher. It's entirely up to you. How straight you want your arms as well will change the stretch. There's no right way or wrong way to do it. You might want to change it up a little bit differently every time you do it, or you might want to find one that feels really good and start with that. For me, I'm gonna grab the dumbbell here. Now, to pull myself into the stretch, I'm gonna think about arching around this ball. I'm going to literally think about pushing my head, upper back, and shoulders into the ball while also dropping my hips into a nice big arch to add some intensity to it. If that is already too intense by just dropping your head into it, then you don't need to drop your hips. You can go to the intensity that feels comfortable for you. So again, we're gonna take 5 seconds to pull into that deep stretch. So we're gonna start here and then reach and push your head and shoulders and hips into a nice deep arch over 5 seconds. When you're done, you're gonna pull up on the dumbbell like you're trying to do this motion. It's not gonna go anywhere because it's too heavy for the position we're in. And you don't wanna do this at max intensity, especially if this is new, because your arms are in a very lengthened position, which is vulnerable for most people because we don't train that loaded very often. So pulling up into that and pulling your hips back to the start, that would be 1 rep. For the next rep, we would do the same thing. Reach into extension, trying to almost make your hands lighter in the dumbbell over 5 seconds, pushing your head and upper back into the ball, and then pulling up into the dumbbell and lifting back up to the start position. That will be pretty fatiguing for your shoulders. It should feel like it's getting some good stuff to happen to your mid and upper back, and it should be a really great way to find a loaded stretch or just up the intensity of the types of stretching you might already be doing or the type of mobility work you might already be doing for this exercise. Typically, we're gonna do just a handful of these because they are usually a warm-up for some deeper work. So usually we'll prescribe them for like that 5-second lower and do a couple sets of 5, but whatever your program says is what you're gonna do. And over time, you should feel that the intensity of the stretch starts to lessen or it doesn't lessen because you can reach to deeper ranges of motion and you just start to feel a little bit more comfortable and you can access those muscles better. Those are all gonna be good signs of progress for this exercise.